Now, considering I based off my entire channel on the subject, I think it's obvious that Ben 10 is my favorite franchise of all time. But there's only one thing that tops that, The Lion King. If I wasn't already in charge of a Ben 10 YouTube channel, this channel would without a doubt be a Lion King focused channel. I remember sitting down with my family and watching the original animated film for the first time when I was 5 years old, and ever since it's been my favorite movie of all time. I love the film, I love its sequels, I love The Lion Guard, and yes, despite its flaws, I even love the 2019 remake. I love what they did with 2016's Jungle Book, and it blew my mind that not a single animal was on set. After I saw that movie, I immediately wanted to see a version of The Lion King done in this fashion, and who would have thought I'd be right. Now, speaking of, the 2019 photorealistic adaptation has been warranted a sequel, directed by Barry Jenkins, who is most known for his film Moonlight. Now, so far, Jeff Nathanson, who scripted the 2019 version, has returned and had recently finished the rough draft of the movie. It's been said that they'll be continuing forward with the story while looking back and exploring the mythology of the characters, including the origins of Mufasa. Now, I'm interested in them continuing Simba's story and see how this version of the character grows as king of the Pride Lands, while, like they said, exploring the other characters within this world. I believe that's the number one thing that'll differentiate the original story from these new set of films. Although a majority of people who saw the 2019 film may not have wanted a sequel, I actually wanted this to happen, and considering how much money they made from it, kind of knew it was coming. I see the sequel as a sort of redemption for Disney and a way to add onto the Lion King universe as the 2019 one was intended to do. What I'm hoping is that, unlike Jon Favreau, Barry Jenkins is given more creative control. I assume he will, considering this is a sequel, and now that they've done the first chapter of the Tales Within the Circle of Life, they can start to head onto uncharted territory, showing us new characters in different layers of the world. Will we see Kiara, Kovu, or Kion? I want to say it's possible. The Lion Guard and Simba's Pride are very well known, unlike Six New Adventures. For those who don't know, the reason why Simba's Pride isn't focused on Kopa, Simba's son in the Lion King Six New Adventures books, created by Alex Simmons, is because the production team of The Lion King 2 weren't aware of these stories, and most of the materials, being audiobooks or director's commentary, none of them had any mention of Kopa. Although in the Lion King 2019 novelization, the cub is said to be a male, but in the Pride Landspedia on digital releases of the film, the cub is identified as Kiara. So, whether Simba and Nala's newborn is Kion, Kiara, or Kopa, we'll have to wait and see. Lions typically have litters of 3 cubs, so who knows? Maybe we'll see all of them at some point. What I loved about The Lion Guard is that they introduced a lovable new character and expanded on the world. We got to see Kion's journey from Prince and Protector of the Pride Lands to King of the Night Pride and Protector of the Tree of Life. I'm hoping that they do that with Simba. We saw Simba's journey and how he became king, and although The Lion King 2 was partially about him struggling and understanding that he didn't need to be his father in order to rule, it was mostly about Kiara and Kovu finding their place in the circle of life. What I would like to see is The Lion King's version of Matt Reeves' Planet of the Apes trilogy. Within that trilogy, we see the birth, life, and death of Caesar, watching him grow, become and struggle to be a leader and keep his family safe throughout this war between apes and humans. I love to see the character of Simba evolve even further than what we've seen, and since we're getting this Mufasa backstory, in the sequel, he could be struggling to be king and may decide that in order to rule correctly, he needs to become his father, but finds out that not even the great Mufasa was a perfect king, either causing him to find his footing and tackle whatever threat or problem the movie is revolved around. So here's the part of the video called Things I Liked and What I Thought 2019's Lion King was going to be. So there are flaws in 2019's Lion King. If that's okay with you, I'll call it the Lion King Remastered, because that's essentially what it is. It's like a video game. Same story, but with the power of modern technology, it looks a lot more crisp. The number one thing being the animals didn't have facial expressions, which I didn't have a problem with. I mean, they're photorealistic animals, but I can still get behind the idea that the emotions that the actors were portraying couldn't match the animals' expressions. Another thing is that the movie is just the same as the 1994 version, which I wasn't surprised with, but when Mufasa was telling Simba about the kings of the past, I would have liked to have Ahadi's name dropped or something. I saw a lot of potential leading up to the release of this film and was so excited for them to possibly tackle elements or concepts that they wanted to do but couldn't in the original. When Sarabi mentioned the other cubs, I was expecting to see them along with a possible Me Too cameo, but nope, just Simba and Nala. Or maybe even have Zira be a minor character who later on caused problems for Simba during the final battle, backing Scar along with the other lionesses who believe him to be the true king. But this isn't called what I thought 2019's Lion King was going to be. It's things I liked and what I thought 2019's Lion King was going to be. So let's get into things that I liked. Number one, the animation. I love animals. I love the way they move. I like studying their behavior. I like drawing them. So watching these animals, well, act like animals is satisfying. The slightest ear twitch always makes me smile. Number two, the cast. Although it was most of the same dialogue from the original film, you can't deny the talent behind this talented cast. And lastly, although it's not as colorful as the original, it is just as visually stunning. I wasn't alive when the original came out, but seeing Pride Rock come to life on the big screen, a location that's home to characters that have had a heavy impact on my life, was tear-jerking for me. I haven't seen all of Disney's live-action remakes. Besides The Lion King, The Jungle Book, Cinderella, and Aladdin are my favorites. I don't have a problem with them recreating their classics, it's just a matter of what exactly are they adding to this so that it's not a carbon copy of the original while still being faithful to the story and those who worked on the first one. I think that's a difficult thing to overcome, and I think those three remakes that I named off before are the only ones in my opinion who did their best at that. Hopefully Disney learns from their mistakes in the past and Jenkins is given more creative control, and even if we don't see beloved characters like Kion or Kovu, as a fan of the franchise, I'm just interested to see what they add to the lore of this world. But that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to share my love for something that isn't Ben 10 related. Every now and then I'll deviate from the normal path, so if you're interested in that kind of stuff, then leave a like if you want, and I'll see you when I see you.